Post-community ground.
Right. That's good enough.
Actually,
I'll just fucking. Is that what you do?
you okay? All right. Good set.
Oh. Probably false and dangerous. Let's see.
So are we still good?
A lot of people.
Good. Okay, let's call to order the February 21st, 2023 Village Board meeting. This meeting is being conducted both in person and remotely. For the record, this is Village President Mark Zula, and I'm currently at the regular meeting location, Roscoe Village Hall. Provisions have been made to allow elected officials, village staff members, and members of the public to participate remotely if necessary. As always, any action taken tonight will be conducted by roll call vote. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. I will now ask all those present to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Given the audio delay issues, we will ask everyone participating remotely to keep their microphone on mute during the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3, roll call. Clerk, would you please call a roll? And for those trustees joining us remotely, please acknowledge that you can hear the proceeding.
Dunn,
Here.
Block,
Here.
Petty, here, Malaco,
Here.
Keen,
Here, and I can hear you.
Gustafson, here.
Item 4, public comment. Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard under public comment this evening? If there are any members of the public logged into the meeting this evening that wish to speak, please unmute your phone or microphone, state your name and address, and always limit your comments to 3 minutes. Now, if you are on remotely, if you hit *6, it'll raise your hand, and then Joe Kerlinkus can let you into the meeting. Is there anyone on the floor that would wish to do public comment this evening? Anybody at all? No. Joe, do we have any hands up?
No, we do not.
Okay. All right, public comment going once, public comment going twice, public comment is now gone. Item 5, President's Report. I don't have one this evening. Item 6, Treasurer's Report. Steve?
Sure. Bills submitted for approval tonight are expenditures per list of $185,336. We have payroll expenses of $82,661, leaving cash on hand in the general cash fund of $8,537,379. We have motor fuel expenses tonight of $19,913, leaving cash on hand in the motor fuel fund of $1,186,803.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Can I have a motion to pay the bills? So moved. First by Justin Black, second by Stacy Malaco. Any discussion? Clerk, call a roll, please.
Keen,
Yes,
Malaco,
Yes.
Gustafson,
With the exception of the dollars to 50 North, please have the record note. I do not approve of that expenditure since this group has not provided us with any information as to its programs, the number of residents it serves.
Already approved it because you already signed the bills. Did you
So I will go back and circle it.
Circled either.
Well, I will go back and circle it.
Go ahead.
Dunn,
Yes.
Petty, yes, Block.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 7, consent agenda. There are 3 items listed under consent agenda this evening, which are 7.1 approval of the February 7th, 2023 meeting minutes. 7.2 approval of resolution to purchase a new lift gate from Monroe Truck approved at the January 17th Committee of the Whole. 7.3 approval of purchase of a new water heater and stainless steel fixtures for Leland Park restrooms and concessions. Are there any objections to voting on all these items as the agenda? Okay, hearing no objections, may I have a motion to approve items listed under consent agenda?
so moved.
First by Anthony Keen, second by Justin Black. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Petty, yes, Block,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes,
Keen,
Yes,
Malaco,
Yes.
Dunn.
Yes.
Okay, great. Item 8, motion and resolutions, final action. 8.1, approval of Winnebago County Clerk's continued use of Porter Park Cabin as polling place for county elections. Is there a motion to approve? First by Michael Dunn, second by Justin Platt. Any discussion? Clerk, call a roll, please.
Gustafson,
yes,
Dunn,
Yes.
Petty, yes, Block,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Keen.
yes,
Okay, motion carries 6-0. Item 9, new business. Item 9.1, approval of resolution 2023-R11, authorizing exterior building improvements at 10595 Main Street for the quoted price of $8,000. This next item involves some new signage for the police department. This request is somewhat time sensitive given the lead time for fabrication and installation. So we're bringing this forward in our new business this evening. Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
so moved.
First by Sue Petty, I believe the second was Justin Plack. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
King,
yes,
Flock,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Petty.
Motion carries 6-0. Having suspended the rules to allow for a final vote, is there a motion to approve?
so moved.
First by Michael Dunn, second by Anthony King. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Dunn,
Yes.
Petty. Yes. Gustafson,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
King.
Yes,
Excellent. Item 10, old business. Brandon, are you on?
Yes,
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Brandon, can you please give us an update on the various projects?
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll start with the three main design projects per usual. Those are the Main Street reconstruction, and then also Willowbrook and Love Road reconstruction. In the past few weeks, we have received all of our approvals from IDOT and the tollway on all of the intersection design studies and traffic impact analysis reports, which is a big step. So basically what that is they approved all of our intersection geometry and traffic data. So now, excuse me, we are tasked with inserting that geometry into our construction plans and tweaking everything to make sure that it all fits. So I would say we're in the final stages of getting all of those construction plans finalized. And that will take us some time. Those are pretty large projects. We got to make sure everything is good to go. But we got a big step done in those. If you guys do recall, we also have the box culvert design on the Love Road project and also the pedestrian bridge design on the Main Street reconstruction project. We have submitted both of our preliminary bridge designs and hydraulic reports to IDNR and IDOT for both of those projects. We did receive some minor comments back from IDOT on the Main Street pedestrian bridge that we're working through currently. And then the Love Road bridge submittal is still in IDNR's hands for their review. So still waiting on that. But those three projects, that's the update on those. If you have any questions on those, obviously feel free to let me know. And I believe we've touched on most of the other projects from last year. The only outstanding projects that we still have going on are the Public Works Building Addition project. And actually we're pretty much done with that. We've got to have the electricians come in and install some motors for the ventilation units. And then other than that, it's completing a walkthrough, basically a final punch list on that project and making sure that everything is what we want. So that project should be closing up here in just a couple of weeks, hopefully. And then also the Public Works parking lot project. We finished all of the paving and striping and things like that last year. We do have the contractor coming back this year to do a double coat or a second coat of striping on that, so it's nice and fresh for the remainder of the year. And then we got to work through getting the fence next to the police department garage. I think that's the evidence garage, getting that constructed. But those are the two outstanding items on that project. Other than that, all the projects were closed last year or the beginning of this year, and then we are still working strong on the 2023 this year and 2024 next year residential streets design projects.
Okay. Thank you, Brandon, very much. Anybody got any questions for Brandon? Nice report. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Item 11. I take that back. Item 10.2, Chicory Ridge Park lighting update. Scott, could you please give us an update on Chicory Ridge Park lighting update?
Can people hear me?
Yes, you sound better.
Yeah, thank you. George Gallrap was able to connect me to New Business. That's the branch of ComEd we need to deal with to get something established like this. They're going to send a field agent. I sent them maps and documents of where we want the lights at either entrance into Chicory Ridge Park. I also indicated the shelter itself as being a potential location for a light, just so they can price those all three out. They're sending a field agent out to assess their existing infrastructure and how far of a run it will take. And they committed to that sending a field agent out within the next 2 weeks, weather permitting. Once the field agent makes their assessments, they'll provide us a range of prices. Well, a price for the power extension. And then I asked them to show us what they have for options for poles and luminaires. I'd like to see what something nicer than just a wood post would cost, but maybe back at the park entrance, that's not quite as critical. So hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks time, we got firm prices and options, and we can be looking at a spring installation.
Okay, cool, excellent, thank you. Item 11, public.
Wait, additional old business.
Oh, did you have
Okay,
something?
yes, I do. Several weeks ago, President Zula, you read a testimonial for Trustee Keene.
Mhm.
In your testimonial, you asserted that Mr. Keene remained a resident of the village, even though he had not physically attended a number of board meetings. Conflicting information has come to light at this time. First, on November 10th, 2022, Mr. Keene swore before a notary that his residence was a Chicory Ridge Way house. However, on November 15th, before a Winnebago County judge, Mr. Keene's address is given as Gadsden Avenue, Lancaster, California. Last but not least, on November 21st, you, President Zula, submitted Mr. Keene's election paperwork with the Roscoe address. I'd like to hand this to Attorney Kalinkas. And so I request of Attorney Kalinkas that you first investigate for this board just where does Mr. Keene reside at this time? And secondly, can Mr. Keene live in California and represent the voters here in Roscoe? I'd like you to report back to us in 2 weeks, answers to those questions with official state laws that are applying or court decisions that apply or any of those types of things. So
I hope you
I look
don't mind me
forward.
doing it sooner than that, Dave,
I look forward to that final decision.
because I will. I'll get it back to you before.
Here,
That's not a
you can pass
problem.
those along.
Did you want me to
Give
have
everybody
something?
one. No,
Oh, okay.
I'm passing out to everyone the court decree that identifies the address. So we have the board needs to be appraised as to what the appropriate action is and what the legal residence is and how we go forward. Thank you.
Welcome. Anything else? Or all business? Okay, item 11, public comment. Once again, if anyone remaining members of the public either present or logged in to the meeting this evening wish to speak, please limit your comments to 3 minutes and just reassure everyone that if you're online, hit *6 to raise your hand, and then Joe Kerlinkus can let you in. To do public comment, is there anyone on the floor? Yeah, absolutely, please. And then please state your name, sign in for the record, please. I have the same problem.
Yeah, I have my glasses here. Well,
Know the feeling.
no mic tonight.
Joe
No, that above you
is a mic.
is Mike and will record you quite well.
Okay,
Just the trustees need to have it sort of project.
sure, no problem. I'm Mike Sima. I reside in the village of Roscoe. My address is 7482 Deer Crossing. As you guys know, I've been attending village board meetings for the last year or so. In that time, I've not seen Trustee Keene at a meeting in person, not once. He has only attended remotely based on a policy that was instituted during the COVID pandemic. While connecting from remote places may be convenient for him, our laws still require an elected official to reside in the jurisdiction of that the official knows, so the official knows something about the community, its issues, the people he represents. Going to the grocery store, seeing people online, being able to ask comments. Effectively, we've never met then. I don't, maybe could put him online so I can see what he looks like. That'd be nice. I've never met him. I've never seen him. We've recently become aware, like Carol was saying, of the agreed temporary order regarding Anthony Keene's divorce case. Temporary order, which was issued on November 15th, awarded Anthony Keene temporary sole possession of his residence located at 43223 Gladstone Lancaster, California, and the petitioner, Karen Keene, sole possession of the marital home located at 10691 Chicory Lake Lane in Roscoe. On November 21st, I, along with the others, submitted our petitions for candidates to run for Roscoe Village trustee in the upcoming April election. I witnessed President Zula submit trustee Keene's candidacy packet for him. I realize that this is not uncommon, but it speaks to the fact that trustee Keene is not available even to submit his own paperwork to the village he wants to continue to represent. Like Carol said, on December 6th, President Zula went to great lengths to laud trustee Keene's unrelated professional work at a village board meeting. It's nothing to do with the village. In essence, making excuses why he can't attend in person. That time should have been devoted to determine if Anthony Keene lives in Roscoe. President Zula should question trustee Keene's intent to return to Roscoe before submitting his candidacy packet. If his ex-wife was awarded the home on November 15th, why would he allow President Zula to submit paperwork for him on November 21st, which states his residence at 10691 Chicory Ridge Lane in Roscoe? We, the constituents of Roscoe, are appalled that many deciding votes have been cast by someone who resides in California. If trustee Keene does not have legal residence in Roscoe, he cannot vote here. A requirement for being trustee is they can vote in the village they represent. If trustee Keene cannot vote here, we, the electorate, ask that he resign immediately and that all votes cast while not being resided be reviewed and redone. The constituents of the village of Roscoe deserve better. We expect Mr. Keene to do what's right in the best interest of those who live here and resign immediately. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Anyone else wish to do public comment? We have plenty of time, so anyone else would wish to? Joe, do we have any hands up? No? No one else from the floor wants to do public comment then? And no hands up, right, Joe?
No hands up.
Okay, public comment going once, public comment going twice, public comment is now gone. Item 12, executive session. There's no need to go into an executive session this evening. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
First by Sue Petty. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Justin Platt. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Petty. Yes. Dunn.
Yes.
Gustafson. Yes. Keen.
Yes.
Yes.
We said yes.
Yes.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. Scott, we're ready whenever you are.
One thing, Scott.
Joe needs a minute. Joe needs a minute, Scott.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, Scott, I'm good anytime.
Okay, thanks. Clerk, you ready?
Yes.
Then we will call to order the February 21st, 2023 Committee of the Whole meeting. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Gustafson. Here. Keen.
Here.
Malco. Sorry.
Here.
Petty. Here. Block.
Here.
Dunn.
Here.
Thank you. Item 3, approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the February 7th, 2023 meeting?
Second.
Can you guys tell who the motion was? I think it was.
Block and Malco.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry.
Okay.
With the microphone, it's hard to get directional sound. Any discussion on the minutes? Clerk, please call the roll.
Dunn.
Yes.
Malco.
Yes.
Keen.
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Block.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. For public comment. Is there anyone present tonight that wants to make public comment for Committee of the Whole?
Yeah, there's a hand up. Scott, please.
Yep, can you come forward, please?
Mike Simon, 7482 Deer Crossing. I respectfully request Village Attorney Colicus confirm with Trustee King that he currently resides at 1069 Chicory Ridge Lane, Roscoe, before he's allowed to vote on items of the committee of the whole, or actually intends to live here. If he cannot confirm his residency, he should be abstaining from tonight's vote. Thank you.
I think it's appropriate advice, so Matt.
Yeah.
First, yes, to do that, I'm like.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I will talk to Mr. King or talk to Trustee King and discuss what we requested tonight, but I don't think it's
Right.
appropriate.
We'll address that before the next meeting.
Yep.
Any other public comment? Joe, I have a reduced screen here. I can't see all of the participants. Are there any hands up?
I
Anybody
see
with a hand up?
no hands up.
Anybody else from the floor? No one else from the floor, Scott.
Thanks, Mark, 'cause I can't see the gallery. Thank you. We'll move into new business. 5.1, discussion or recommendation to the board approving payment of the 2023 Axon bundle as part of a 5-year agreement authorized via resolution 22R07 for the annual contract amount of $30,742. This goes back, the Axon bundle are the body cameras, tasers, and a lot of related miscellaneous equipment, as well as the storage for the videos from the body cameras. By the way, body cameras have gone live. Officers are wearing them, and so far, I think it's gone off pretty smoothly. We entered into a 5-year agreement that was in its entirety approved by resolution 22R07. However, just to keep things tidy, at audit time, I've asked Interim Chief Howley to prepare a PO every year for the annual amount. And so I'm bringing, obviously that exceeds any individual spending authority. So we're bringing this forward to the board as it's $30,742. Is there a motion to approve?
Again,
First by
Motion by trustee.
Stacy Malaco, second by Justin Platt.
Is there any questions or discussion? And clerk, would you please call the roll?
Gustafson,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Block,
yes.
Elko,
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Thank you all very much. 5.2, the motion passed 6-0. 5.2, discussion and recommendation of the board regarding the purchase of 5 DDM 4V7S patrol rifles from Daniel Defense with sights by Aimpoint for use by the Village of Roscoe Police Department for the combined quoted amount of $10,529.90. This was presented under capital equipment as part of the police department's 2023 budget requests and was appropriated for. Is there a motion to move this onto the board?
So moved. Again.
Motion by
First by
Malaco,
Stacy.
second by Block. Okay, thanks. Yeah. I'll let you do it, Mark, because I can't really.
That's right. Go ahead.
Is there any questions or discussion?
I have some questions of you. These are replacing things that we already have?
Yeah, we have currently patrol rifles in use right now. I believe they're, if I remember right, it's like 10 years old or so. Like they've had a lot of rounds through them.
What do you do with the old stuff?
Those right now we just plan on holding on to, especially with all the new laws in the state of Illinois with rifles and such not. I know old pistols, we usually go through a company and then we just, exchange those for credit towards the new pistols, but these ones we're just gonna hold on to for right now.
And with these new items, are there going to be any other costs incurred? I don't know. I don't own guns.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about them. Replacement parts or anything like that? They're new and you're getting the sights, but are there any other costs?
So the rifles themselves, we talked to the manufacturer, they're actually being not pulled off the shelf or anything. They actually will make them specifically for law enforcement then. So they have their best people working on them. They come with a iron sights they'll add on them that is included in this price. A sling. So basically all the accessories. We already have all the magazines that we need from the old rifles as well. And then the red dot sighting system, which is the Aimpoint system that's going to be going on them. And that we did as a separate PO, but included on this just because I wanted upfront about all of it. So
So how frequently do people have to qualify?
with the rifles, at least once a year minimum. We do other trainings also throughout the year, but at least one state qualification a year per state statute.
Thank you. Oh, and last, with this approval, when do you anticipate receiving them?
Once it gets approved, I believe it was a 90-day turnaround in order to manufacture them and ship them to us.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Malaco.
Yes.
Block.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Dunn.
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. Item 5.3, discussion and recommendation to the board for approval of an ordinance approving a variance request to increase the allowable size of an accessory building in the R1 district from 700 square feet to 912 square feet at 6498 Sutter Drive. This was brought before the ZBA on February 8th, 2023. I know trustees Petty and Dunn were present at that meeting. We do have the applicant here. They don't typically make a presentation at committee of the whole, but I think Mr. Fagan has joined us virtually, and he could answer any questions if you have them. I sent you all a link to the ZBA meeting. We got a chance to watch it. It just went out today. If I had to summarize ZBA discussion or comment related to this request, and which led to its unanimous approval, was a general feeling that as there is an existing building there now, taking a look at its position on the property, its relationship to the site on the corner lot, that simply adding the additional 14 foot of length, keeping the width the same, would be a minimal impact. And they pointed to the fact that there is a row of existing evergreen trees that would largely screen the existing structure and the expansion. However, that is only from one direction. That's approaching from the south, I believe. Wouldn't really screen it from the north, but it does virtually eliminate any view from the south. And then there's some testimony to the condition in which the applicant keeps his home, building, and property. We sent out the other thing they noted. The ZBA did ask about the notification process, which of course is governed by statute. We did send out mailings to, there was actually a list of 44 individual properties that have a portion that exists within 300 feet of this property. And of those 44, no one chose to weigh in either for or against the request.
I'd like to make a motion that we send the board approval of this variance request.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Gustafson, second by trustee Dunn. Is there any further discussion or questions? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Petty.
Yes.
Block.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Dunn.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Malaco.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion approved. Passes 6-0. Item 5.4, discussion or recommendation of the board for approval of an ordinance approving a variance request to increase the allowable height of a fence in a side yard setback from 6 feet to 7 feet at, well, there's 6 addresses: 11920, 11926, 11944, 11950, 11968, and 11974 Bainbury Drive. Those 6 addresses comprise or make up 3 duplex units. These were constructed last year. They're immediately north of the Mary's Market building on Bainbury, right across the street from the side of Schnucks Plaza. The request was to raise from 6 to 7 feet to better obscure the view of the back of Mary's Market and of their dumpster enclosure. The conditions of approval were that the fence be kept out of the 33-foot front yard setback and kept out of a 12-foot utility easement at the rear of the property. So it just run truly on the side yard setback. Again, this one received unanimous approval at ZBA on February 8th.
Scott, your notes indicated that a condition of this, the fence would be of one of two materials. I would like to specify that it be the vinyl, not the wood option. May we do that, or is it too restrictive?
Joe, that might be a question for you. Generally, we would, Trustee Gustafson,
Generally, we probably don't, but yeah, absolutely, you can put conditions
since
on
it's a
there.
variance.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Since it's a highly visible area, it's a
Yeah.
highly visible area, and we know what happens to those wood fences over time.
Yeah.
So
I think, Trustee Guston, I think whenever it's a, special action like this, whether it's a special, we certainly attach conditions to special use permits. I would think the same rules might apply to a variance, and we'd be within our rights, I would think. Was
So
it
I
your
would like
request
to-
was for the white vinyl? Sorry, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, so I would like to make a motion that we send to the board approval of this variance with the stipulation that the fence be constructed out of vinyl, whatever color they choose, white, tan, whatever goes with.
Okay.
The facade.
I
So
second.
noted. We have a motion from Trustee Gustafson and a second from Trustee Petty. Is there any other questions or comment? Clerk, could you please
Scott?
call the roll? Yes, Joe.
I was just saying, it's a CPD too, so I think that would help. We can essentially make it part of that CPD adjustment for it.
I spoke with the applicant at some length during this. I don't think there'll be an objection. I think that was his preference anyway.
Perfect.
Thank you, by the way, for all of the illustrations you put in the drawing.
You're welcome. All right, clerk, I think you can call the roll.
Keen,
Yes.
Block,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Petty. Yes. Dunn,
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes,
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. 5.5, discussion and recommendation to the board for approval of a resolution authorizing entering into an agreement with Verizon Wireless for mobile telephones. This is for Village Hall, the Police Department, and Public Works. All right, let me give you some up-to-the-minute news on this one. This all started, just so you know, we currently have our cell phones for all departments through US Cellular. However, the police department utilizes Verizon for their mobile Wi-Fi hotspots. So we already are a customer and have an account with Verizon. This request initiated through the police department, who was made aware of a program specifically geared for law enforcement, but they're willing to extend it to all departments. That was a little more attractive than what we're currently experiencing with US Cellular. We see benefit in the following ways. Currently, we pay about $40 a month per phone line. The switch to Verizon would drop to $35, so there it saves $5 a month per phone line. They are going to give, there are a total of 17 phones on the plan. There was previously 18 or 19, we're discontinuing a couple, and there'll be 17 phones on the plan. They will give us $100 credit for every line that we transport over, so there's $1,700 worth of credit that we receive. And also it becomes an unlimited data plan with no slowdowns, where we currently are only all sharing 3 gigs and almost always go over to the extent that that usually eclipses $100 as much as $140 in data overages. So it certainly seems like a no-brainer that the Verizon offer is better. But of course, as we've gone through the process of discontinuing some lines and probably notifying US Cellular of a potential switchover, you need to be told US Cellular came back and made a virtually identical offer. Rather than $100 credit, they would also provide new iPhone 13s to everyone. They offer to provide an OtterBox phone case and a screen protector, which has a retail value of about $115. So that's their way to make up some sort of a credit bonus. I talked about it with Ann this afternoon. I don't know. I think we're not passionate one way or the other. However, it always irks me when someone's suddenly able to offer you a better deal than they had been giving you for the past 9 years. And to me, that's too little, too late. And I think I like the cleanliness of having everything on Verizon and making the switch. Okay. We have a motion to switch over to Verizon. Trustee Plock, second by trustee Dunn, I believe. Any comments or thoughts?
Well, so you said it would be 17 phones at $35 per phone per month.
That's correct.
All of the numbers stay the same and all of that jazz.
Yeah, it does, believe it or not. Yeah. Sam, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Were you the one, someone even told me about better reception and signal strength with Verizon in parts of our area than US Cellular?
Yeah, if I understand right, the original, we had US Cellular, and that was just for the squad cars. Well, squads and cell phones was all US Cellular, I believe, at one point. And then from what I understand, IT adjusted that be moved to Verizon because we're hitting dead spots with our jetpacks for the squad cars, not receiving reception. That's why we switched over to Verizon. And then this all kind of started because we were looking at upgrading, and we knew for free you can get upgraded hotspots. And we do that every so often. These were 5G ones, so a little bit faster, better. And then that came about as far as the pricing, and then we turned it over.
Clerk, will you call the roll?
Dunn,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Keen,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Petty, yes, Block.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. And last item is a discussion and recommendation to the board for approval of a resolution to enter into an agreement with Comcate Software and Services for code enforcement, permitting, and business license management modules. This would include the licensing and onboarding and training. So we gave you a memo at the last meeting evaluating sort of our 4 finalists. Vic and I talked about it more this week. We both separately identified who our preference would be, and thankfully they aligned. Comcate is the one we both feel best about. Certainly Vic from the code enforcement side, and I think they'll be one of the best products for permitting and licensing. They're 3rd out of 4 in pricing. If we're just looking strictly at first at annual costs, because that will be our legacy cost on this. The one that we were really blown away with had $60,480 a year. And that would be every year subscription fee. But then the other 3 came in at $18,181, $17,439, and $16,800. So of the 3 realistic numbers, we're asking to go with the middle one. The initial there's a build out or a setup commitment, and across all 3 modules, and they separate them by code enforcement, permitting, and license management. That's a commitment of $7,501. That won't all happen all at once. We'll do that incrementally over the year. We'll start with code enforcement, and we'll actually be beta testers for permitting and licensing. And we're also receiving a pretty good discount on those packages for being early adopters. As I said, the final annual cost will be $17,439 once all of them are implemented. What we're asking of them, we have a proposal. We don't have the agreement. We'll have the agreement to bring forward to the board meeting. But what we're asking of them is to prorate the annual fees for whatever remainder of 2023 we have, because we prefer these run on January 1 to December 31 billing cycle. It's certainly cleaner for appropriations, and there is no long-term contract commitment. You'll see the proposal included a 5% annual increase. That is not what they represented in our meetings. In fact, they represented the price freeze for some period of time. And so we're trying to get that straightened out before we bring it to the board. I certainly entertain any questions or comments you might have.
Are you suggesting we lay this over?
No, ma'am, I'm asking you to move it on to the committee. I mean, to the board, excuse me, move it on to the board.
I know.
But when it moves on to the board, you'll have those final details in the contract. For us to
Yeah, the
take a
only
look at.
yes, exactly. We don't even have the contract yet. We don't have the agreement. Joe's gonna want to pour over the terms and conditions of the agreement. He invariably crosses several out or argues over some. It won't come to the board until we get that stage. I expect that to be in the next 2 weeks. The variables I want to confirm are price-wise would be a commitment that we'll just do a prorated amount for the whatever remainder of 2023 in each of these modules, and also that we get a better handle on annual escalators. I don't want to commit to a 5% every year.
Was this the system that was, or the software that was used by McChesney? Or
It
was
is
that-
not.
Okay.
You know, they were citizen serve, and ultimately, I think this one is going to be better for Vic and more user friendly for our residents.
Make a
So did
motion.
you make a
send it to the
motion?
board.
Sue, had you already made one, or was that Justin?
No, Justin just made one.
Okay.
Now Mike seconded it.
All right, clerk, could you call the roll?
Malco,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hetty. Yes. Buck,
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item 6, old business.
I have a few questions.
Okay, Sue.
Do we have an update on your investigation of website designers?
Sure. I have spoken with 4, technically 5 firms. One didn't seem appropriate at all. 3 really do. 3 really stand out. And what I want to do now is I've spoken to all 3 of them, and it's clear that the price for a full website build out and whatever follow-up hosting fees will be at a number where we certainly need to get competitive quotes or bid it in some manner. I need to make sure they're apples to apples bids. So now that I've gotten sort of a kind of what I requested was rough descriptions of scope from 3, and I'm going to pick from those and make an official request for quotes. My preference is, even though it potentially could be over $20,000, I would like to waive our bidding requirements and treat this as a quote requirement, only because it's such a specialized field. And I've talked to several vendors to the point where I feel comfortable that 3 are in a position to provide us good quality service that we're looking for. I'd just like to solicit comparable prices from those 3.
So the difference between a quote and a bid,
A bid would be publicly advertised in the newspaper, and the board, like a road project, and the board would have to authorize it going out to bid. It would be advertised in the newspaper. It opens it up to anyone, I guess, that wants to bid on it, and then those are open and read aloud publicly and brought back to the board for a selection.
Essentially, it's a sealed lowest price type thing. I mean, it doesn't really work out for like this type of thing. So I think it's why I wanted to do more of a proposals or more of a,
Yeah.
we put them together, here's what we want, here we're looking for, right? So they're all proposing sort of the same scope, but then also we'll be able to look at their quality and the design and all of that part of it.
Sue,
So-
I would compare these to other professional design services, because that's really what it is. But maybe web designers don't have a strong enough lobby to loop themselves in with architects, engineers, and surveyors. But those professions, you're only allowed to select them based on qualifications, not price. But I think it sort of sheds light on the approach of selecting a design consultant based on their qualifications and what they offer.
well, as we're approaching March 1st, it appears to me that we're going to have to pay a student another month.
No, so we'll have this same website for probably another 6 months. I'm surprised at the length of the time that everyone tells me, and yes, some people have given us some very nice time charts, flow charts of all the steps involved in developing and onboarding a new website. So the old one will stay up for some time. I'm just transferring away from this will be the last month we pay a regular annual or monthly fee to Astute, and anything that we might need from them in the interim, they'll just have to provide on an as needed hourly basis. But we're transferring over the ability to upload and post to office staff, so we won't need to be asking Astute of their time.
Okay. I've never asked, but, there was water in the IT room in the police department. Was there a leak in the roof or what happened?
No, it was ice accumulation in the drain line of the air conditioning unit, which froze up and then melted and leaked back through the unit and through the roof into the equipment.
That's been repaired.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of repair work that had to be done to the unit to ensure that doesn't happen again.
Is our public able to access the recorded meetings?
Not yet. Joe's put together some amazing lists of them, but I don't think
yes. We just have a link on the website, I don't think yet.
Yeah.
But yes, actually, the answer is yes. They're up, they're ready, they're live on YouTube. If you look,
Oh, there you go.
you search on YouTube for Village of Roscoe, it will go to that. They're public. We need to put a link up
good.
on the.
Would you please do that or somebody?
Yeah, we can get that sent out.
And have you called the VFW about the Memorial Day parade?
No, I have not. I'm making a note of it now. No. I will do so.
Just to note really quick too on the same thing is that these are being live streamed now too. So those are also, we'll make sure there's a link to the live stream as well. So you don't actually have to log into the Zoom anymore if you're just gonna watch it.
Pretty slick.
What's the timeline for putting away the Christmas decor and bringing out St. Pat's or somebody else's or Easter? Can we get Public Works to remove the garland before our next meeting?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other old business? Any public comment? No need for an executive session tonight, I don't believe, unless anyone has one.
Well, Scott, make sure you ask Joe, is there any hands up?
There are no hands up.
There's no hands up.
Great.
No one. from the
Is
floor.
there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Petty, second by trustee Dunn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Thank you all.